Hello there, and get set for another jaunt through the archives as we unearth two more vintage charts from the past randomly chosen by our studio computer on the UK Top 20 Rewind. Mike Reed's going to be here a little bit later on with memories of December 1982. But right now, I'm Shaun Tilley, and it's October 1976. This was the month and year when Jimmy Carter and President Gerald Ford took part in a live television debate across the USA. Britain's James Hunt won the World Motor Racing Championship by a single point. The Bank of England raised its minimum lending rate from 13 to 15%, and the National Theatre on London's South Bank was officially opened by the Queen.
UK Top 20 Rewind. New entry.
There were 5 records making their debut on this particular survey, and we're going to start with the first of those right now. England, Dan and John Ford Coley. I'd really love to see you tonight.
20.
Hello, yeah, it's been a while.
That's a fella who had a marvellous track record when it came to putting themes together for TV shows and movies. Off the top of my head, I can think of Starsky and Hutch, and on the big screen, Bullet, starring Steve McQueen, the music for that wonderful car chase. It's Lalo Schifrin with the disco version of Jaws. The original, of course, being the music that John Williams performed for the Steven Spielberg movie, and it was a new entry at number 18 in October 1976. This hour's randomly chosen countdown on the UK Top 20 Rewind with me, Shaun Tilley, while the Detroit Spinners were moving up the charts with the excellent Rubber Band Man.
17.
Dancing with the captain.
A Top 20 climber at number 14 in October 1976 for Paul Nicholas, a fellow who went on to even more stardom in movies and TV programs and on stage as well. But as far as his chart career was concerned, he had 3 UK Top 20 singles, and that was the second and biggest, eventually climbing to number 8. It's Dancing with the Captain.
UK Top 20 Rewind. Highest new entry.
And the biggest of our 5 singles making their debut on this particular survey came from the Tavares with Don't Take Away the Music ads.
13.
Down to number 12 in October 1976, Manfred Mann's Earth Band, Blinded by the Light, which got to number 6 in Britain while it was a US number 1. Climax Blues Band were rising to number 10 with Couldn't Get It Right, and that's going to be after the Ritchie family's one and only UK Top 20 hit, The Best Disco in Town.
11.
Firstly, we played Tina Charles, who was sliding to number 9 with Dance, Little Lady Dance in October 1976, and we followed it with Rick Dees and his cast of idiots, Disco Duck, down to number 8. Unbelievably, that record got to number 6 in Britain. Even more unbelievably, it was a US chart topper. Demis Roussos was also descending down to number 7 when Forever Is Gone, and the Bay City Rollers were heading downwards to number 6 with the old Dusty Springfield song, I Only Want to Be With You, which we'll be able to take a listen to after we speak to this fella who's going to be here in the next hour. Come in, Mike Reed.
Thank you, Shaun. Looking forward to doing it. December 1982, and we got some good stuff in there as well.
Like what? Come on.
Wham, Madness, Interalia, Phil Collins, Donna Summer, Duran Duran, and The Jam. Oh, it takes you back, doesn't it? It takes you back.
All that from December 1982.
Yep.
With you in the next hour of the UK Top 20 Rewind, and it's good to have you on board.
Thanks very much, and there'll be more as well as those, of course.
6.
Flock of Seagulls have been up as high as number 10. Thanks to that single called Wishing I Had a Photograph of You. But here we find it slipping down to number 12. It's the UK Top 20 Rewind. I'm Mike Reed, joining Shaun Tilley this week. And during this hour, we're recasting our collective minds back to December 1982. This next record was Modern Romance's first hit single to feature Michael J. Mullins as lead singer, who of course now has been doing backing vocals for Cliff Richard for many, many years. This is following the departure of original vocalist Jeff Dean. Here's The Best Years of Our Lives.
11.
Simon Le Bon, Nick Rhodes and the Three Taylors, John, Andy and Roger, Duran Duran with Rio, which was rising to number 10 in December 1982. That was when they said, let's go and do a video somewhere exotic, like a nice yacht, for example. The song featured the exquisite saxophone work of Andy Hamilton, but surprisingly only climbed 1 place higher. Lionel Richie was down to number 9 with Truly, and it was also a bad week for Blackburn lads Blancmange, whose excellent single, Living on the Ceiling, was sliding down the chart too.
8.
With an extract from their album called The Rise and Fall, it's Suggs, Chaz, Barso, Chrissy Boy, Bedders, Woody and Tomo. Oh, lovely lads. Did their first Top of the Pops with them. The Madness Boys, who had the week's highest climber courtesy of Our House, which of course is now a musical in London, was moving up 9 spots then to number 6 and ended up increasing its climb by another 2 places. Last week, Richard Skinner joined Shaun Tilley on the UK Top 20 Rewind, and this week, it's me, Mike Reed, with our December 1982 chart. Next, we'll hear from Wham, who were sliding to number 4, and that'll be after Eddie Grant's former chart topper, I Don't Want to Dance, which was also moving down to number 5.
The UK Top 20